Text appears over a white background. #Google I/O. A crowd sits facing an outdoor stage with a grid of cubes as the backdrop and shelves lined with cozy home items on either wing. A location icon in the upper left corner reads Mountain View. A woman steps on stage, and a large screen behind her reads Introducing Jeanine Banks, she, her. A live recording icon appears, then is replaced by the #Google I/O.
Welcome to I/O. Thank you all for joining us. It feels so good to be back. We look forward to this time to share what we've been working on, along with all the fantastic things that are happening in the community. Developers power the way we live, creating the software that makes it possible to continuously improve and adapt how we learn, work, communicate, care for our loved ones, and get involved in social causes. Developers bring new worlds into existence, and it's really that sense of endless possibilities that inspired me years ago to become a developer and still gets me out of bed and motivated to work at Google today. I first started coding in 1993. And some of you might recall, that's when HTML was a draft, not a standard. I was teaching myself to build a static website, and thinking back, I'm sure glad I only had to get it to work on a VGA monitor. Today, technology allows you to be much more inventive. But with it, it brings much more complexity. Users expect to have polished, highly interactive, and fast experiences that run across many different devices, form factors, and platforms. We need to deliver systems that scale to sudden user demand while protecting their privacy and safety. And we're expected to build quicker than ever. It's a set of requirements that would have been impossible to deliver in any other computing era. To help you, Google is bringing simplicity to the challenges that developers face. And we're doing this in two ways. First, by connecting our products so that they work even better when you use them together. And second, by providing guidance and best practices to help you improve your entire workflow. We're ecstatic to share how we're delivering new levels of simplicity and connection across the products you use every day. You're going to hear the latest on augmented reality, Android, Chrome, Flutter, Firebase, Google Cloud, and machine learning. We hope you'll see some new things that inspire you. So let's jump in. Earlier today, Sundar talked about the bright future we see in augmented reality. And with AR Core, developers have access to tools they need to build experiences that seamlessly blend the digital and physical worlds. Thousands of you are already building AR Core into your apps, but you told us that you want to create applications that scale across the world. That would mean easy access to a 3D model that's always up to date, machine readable, and optimized for localization. Well, the wait is over. Now it's a reality. I couldn't be happier to announce the new AR Core Geospatial API on Android and iOS. At no cost, developers can easily create immersive experiences by placing AR content at real-world locations in 87 countries without having to be there. This launch opens up access to nearly 15 years of Google's experience through Google Maps with an API that combines billions of images from Street View and our visual positioning service. Your users will be able to interact with your AR content at many more places, creating opportunities for apps to be more informative, engaging, and delightful. We've been working with partners like the NBA, Snap, Bird, and more to explore and build applications for different industries, including education, entertainment, and utility. Now is a great time to start building AR experiences, deploying them across the world to where your users are. We're also releasing Balloon Pop. We wanted to give you an open source demo to give you an easy way to get started. So have fun extending Balloon Pop for your own applications.
In the Balloon Pop game, a balloon swells up from a target on a street, and a slingshot pops it.
With AR Core Geospatial API, the planet is literally your canvas.
A street view zooms out to take in the entire globe.
At Google, we see our role as fostering the open ecosystem that developers need to be successful. And I want to thank all of you for contributing to this community and really supporting each other over the past few years. Now, I'd like to welcome Maru to the stage so she can share the latest from Android. Come on, Maru.
The live recording icon appears, #Google I/O. A woman takes the stage while the screen behind her reads, "Introducing Maru Ahes Bouza, she, her." The screen displays the Android logo.
Thanks, Jeanine. I'm so excited to be here today. And I want to thank you for helping us make Android better for everyone. I lead developer relations for Android, and I love seeing the impact we can have on people's lives. There aren't many platforms where you can build something and instantly reach billions of people around the world, not only on their phones, but their TVs, cars, tablets, watches, and more. This is a big opportunity for you as developers to build awesome, seamless experiences that people use throughout their day. But we've heard from you that building these experiences is not always easy. So today, we'll show you how Android helps you make the most of this opportunity. First, we'll share how to build apps that work better together across devices, with a focus on new tools on wearables and large screens. And second, we'll show you how we're improving your productivity with our tools and libraries, including an amazing demo we've been working on that I think you'll love. But I want to start with something that's foundational. Jeanine spoke about our focus on bringing simplicity to the challenges developers face. And this is the essence of modern Android development. With modern Android development, we bring you as much commonality as possible to make it easier for you to create experiences that tailor to all the different screens we use in our daily lives. To help you achieve this, we have the following. Android Studio and Kotlin give you the most fully featured and productive development experience for Android applications on any device. Material and Jetpack Compose provide the UI framework and guidance to deliver beautiful experiences across devices. Jetpack also reduces the code you need to write and provides opinionated guidance while preserving compatibility. Google Services lets you enhance your application with the best of Google. And Google Play is our storefront that highlights the best, most optimized applications for a given device. This is modern Android development, a set of guidance, tools, and libraries that helps you build great apps across devices. The skills and the code you create working with one screen, big or small, will carry over to the next. Now that we've set this foundation, let's talk about building experiences that are simply better together. With close to 500 million cars, TVs, watches, laptops, and tablets running on Android, people expect apps to work seamlessly across these devices. Let's zoom into wearables and large screens and talk about how we're making it easier for you to build these apps. First, Wear OS. We launched our joint platform with Samsung last year. And earlier today, we announced the Google Pixel Watch, coming this fall, which brings together the best of Fitbit and Wear OS. To help you build beautiful Wear apps and follow our best practices, today we're announcing the beta of Jetpack Compose for Wear OS. You've told us how Jetpack Compose makes it easier to build UIs. And now with Compose on Wear OS, you can bring your skills and experience to build across form factors, from the largest screens to the screen on your wrist. Since the developer preview, we've added and improved a number of components, such as navigation, scaling lazy lists, input and gesture support, and much, much more. Some of the most popular apps on wearables are health and fitness apps. And sharing data between these apps enables for richer user experiences. We've heard from you, though, that it's difficult to securely store and share health data between apps because of the number of APIs your apps need to integrate with and maintain. So today we're announcing Health Connect. Health Connect is a new platform built in close collaboration between Google and Samsung. And it simplifies connectivity between apps, making it easier to reach more users with less work. With user permission, developers like you can use a single set of APIs to securely access and share health data on all Android devices. Samsung Health, Fitbit, and Google Fit are all adopting Health Connect, along with many popular health and fitness apps. You can download the Health Connect SDK today, available as a Jetpack library. Okay, so I talked about the screen on your wrist, and now Sean is going to talk about bringing your experiences to the larger screens. Thank you.
Maru leaves the stage as dots travel around concentric squares on screen. A man jogs on stage and the screen reads, introducing Sean McBreen, he, him.
Hey, thanks, Maru. This year, we are going big on large screens and tablets. With Android, you can build a single app that runs on a foldable, a tablet, and even on Chrome OS. And in Q1, we saw active users approaching 270 million on these devices. So there's a great opportunity to connect with people using larger screens. And they expect a great experience, from the hardware to the operating system, right through to the applications you'll build yourselves. And when it comes to hardware, our partners are creating some amazing devices. In 2022, we'll see more than 75 new Chromebook models. And foldables are redefining the phone market. Oppo's Find N and Samsung's Fold 3 and Flip 3 let you put a large screen right in your pocket. And tablets like Lenovo's Tab P12 Pro and Samsung's Galaxy Tab S8 line are setting the bar for premium Android tablets. And to top it off, earlier today, we announced the Pixel tablet coming next year. Yeah, come on. Yeah. So this hardware comes to life with software, and that starts with the operating system itself. Android 12L and 13 have a huge number of optimizations for large screens. Some of my favorites include the taskbar, multitasking, keyboard and mouse support, and in compatibility mode for applications. These platform updates are coming to all of the amazing hardware I just mentioned. So with so many users, great hardware, and an updated operating system, it's time to start talking about optimizing applications for large screens. Large screens bring new opportunities to increase the connection with your users. So let's take a moment to look at some of the most familiar applications on these devices and see how they're investing in large screens to increase user engagement. Let's roll the film.
Text and logos appear over a white background. Tablet moments, built by you. Zoom, Facebook, HBO Max, TikTok, Google Slides. The Zoom logo appears as a little girl carries a tablet into a kitchen. She hands it off to her mom, who video chats with friends and family. The girl wears a tiara and runs around a table with a birthday cake. Her dad scoops her into his arms.
It's about to get hot in this mug, though. Come and get the cotton in Lonzo. You been saying that I'm talking too much, though.
The Facebook logo appears as people roller skate under an overpass at night. A young woman films them as they do a synchronized dance on their skates, and likes and comments flood in.
But these words just caught me as though, so I'ma keep on talking. You shine, you stay fine often. Not awkward, keep cautious, stay working.
The HBO Max logo appears as a young couple sits in a car on a rainy day. They trade a shy smile and pick out something to watch on their tablet. Text appears, Moonshot, now available to stream on HBO Max.
You look so good, I wanna take you home today. Said you look good, I wanna take you home today.
The TikTok logo appears as a girl films her grandparents on her tablet. Her grandma dances while her grandpa plays saxophone.
You look so good.
The Google Slides logo appears as a women's soccer team huddles up to go over play diagrams on a tablet. In the car, rain slides over the windows as the young couple watches their show. Text: Moonshot, now available to stream on HBO Max. The girl leans over for a kiss, and the camera topples over. Text appears over a white background as logos cycle past. Tablet moments built by you. Zoom, Facebook, HBO Max, TikTok, Google Slides. The Android logo pops up. The live recording icon appears as Sean nods to the audience. Hashtag Google I/O.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It's actually amazing to see how Facebook, TikTok, HBO Max, and Zoom are all enhancing their applications. And here at Google, we also recognize the opportunity with large screens. And we're optimizing our own applications as well. Apps like YouTube, YouTube Music, Google Photos, Google Maps, and Chrome, and many of our most popular apps are rolling out large screen optimizations right now, with more to come. Okay, so with the help of developers, both inside and outside of Google's, we've created a set of large screen quality guidelines and a number of material design canonical layouts. These take the guesswork out of optimizing your app for large screens, helping you work out where to start, and providing a set of patterns to help you build adaptive layouts, like list detail, supporting panel, and feed. We also recently added important testing tips, because over the course of working with apps, we've seen a number of relatively simple issues pop up time and again that have an outsized impact on the end user experience, and ultimately, the store ratings for the apps that you build. For instance, gracefully handling configuration changes while folding and unfolding, or taking advantage of the multiple cameras on these devices. And our guidance is implemented in our Jetpack libraries, which bake in many of the most common tasks for large screen development. For instance, drag and drop, which makes it simple to add drag and drop features to your application, a key scenario as users leverage multitasking. Or Window Manager, a foundational library for detecting device postures, screen sizes, and one that enables activity embedding, making it easy to modify an existing view-based application for large screen layouts. Both Drag and Drop and Window Manager are available today and have reached their 1.0 stable releases. Okay, with something else I think everyone should be excited about, and I'm certainly excited about, are the changes that we're making to the Play Store itself. In fact, these are the largest set of updates ever for the store. To start, we're going to help people find the best large screen optimized apps with new large screen focused editorial content and a separate review and rating system for large screen applications. And then as we move throughout the year, we're updating the look of Google Play so it looks amazing on a tablet or a foldable device. These changes will help people find high-quality optimized apps, and applications with optimized experiences will be boosted in category listings and search to highlight the incredible work that you'll do. Okay, with all of this amazing new hardware, an updated operating system, updated guidelines, libraries, and more, now is the time to review your apps and get them ready for large screens and Android 13. But making it easy to build for multiple devices is also so critical. And with modern Android development, we give you a consistent approach for development across all classes of devices. So let's welcome Jamal to show you some of our most recent updates for developer productivity. Jamal, take it away.
A man takes the stage and heads to a table with a variety of tablets and laptops. The screen reads, introducing Jamal Eason, he, him.
Thanks, Sean. I'm really excited to show you how modern Android development comes together. Here's a demo of some of the updates you can find in Android Studio. These updates are designed to make it easier for you to build high-quality app experiences on large screens, taking advantage of Jetpack Compose. Let's jump in. Now I'm running Android Studio Electric Eel, which you can find on the Canary channel, and I'm using the app called Now in Android, which you can find on GitHub. So as you know, Android Studio provides a powerful preview system, but sometimes you want to see how your app looks in different screen sizes, and you don't want to duplicate a ton of preview code everywhere in your app. So to solve this problem, we have a new API in Android Studio called Multi-Preview API. Let's check it out. So let's first go to this decoration. And I've set up a phone landscape device, a tablet device, and a foldable. And I create a new annotation called Preview Devices. So instead of copying all this preview code everywhere across my app, I can simply refer to this one annotation and have this set of previews appear anywhere in my app. So let's try it out. So instead of using the standard preview, let me go to Preview Devices that I've created. And now let me zoom out a little bit. So instead of one device, I can now see my layout inside of a tablet, large screen, and foldable. Cool. So Preview is an awesome tool, but sometimes I want to stay in the IDE flow, but validate gestures and scroll events and kind of, fill my app. Or sometimes I want to connect to a device on my local network that is not on my desk. So to solve this problem, we have a feature called screen mirroring, where we can stream the contents and interactions of a physical device screen right into Android Studio, either over Wi-Fi or USB. Let's try it out. So first, let me connect my Lenovo tablet via USB. All right. And now I can click on this new Running Devices tab inside of Android Studio. And there you go. My tablet screen is now mirrored right into Android Studio, using RTC to get low latency interaction between the physical device and Android Studio. Pretty cool. All right, so let me scroll through my content here. Yeah, these cards look pretty stretched out. And I know due to the material design guidelines that instead of having these large stretch cards, I should have a couple columns of cards. So let's adjust that. Now, we kind of heard from you that's kind of a pain point to do iterative UI changes with Jetpack Compose. And at all costs, avoid doing full builds. So something I'm excited to show you that solves this problem is Live Edit. So let's try it out. So let me navigate to where I've defined this content. In this case, we have a lazy column. Let's change this to a lazy vertical grid. Let's add some columns to this. Add some grid cells. Let's make sure they're adaptive, of course. Let's add some width, let's say 200 dip. Wow, that was fast, but not quite right. We have 6 columns instead of 3 columns. Now with Live Edit, we can quickly fix this because what's happening under the hood is we're not just changing literal values, we're also changing the compose functions themselves without rebuilding. So let me change this in real time with Live Edit to get to the right design pattern that we want. So let's change this from 200 to 360, and there we go. Perfect. All right, and lastly, to validate this, I can actually rotate the mirrored device inside of Android Studio to see how my content looks. So let's click on this rotate button. All right, 2 columns of content in portrait and 3 columns of content in landscape. Columns are all set. Pretty cool.
As Jamal strolls to center stage, a list appears on the screen behind him. Android Studio, d.android.com/studio. Logcat v2 SDK index integration, Wear OS launch configurations, Wear OS pairing assistant and toolbar, Gradle managed devices, Compose recomposition and layout inspector, Compose animation coordination preview, Live Edit Jetpack Compose, Visual int for Compose, Compose multi preview, device mirroring, resizable emulator, app quality insights.
All right, we're still working on Live Edit and the other features I showed you in the Canary release channel. So please give us feedback so that we can continue to invest in tools that make you productive on Android. I just showed you Android Studio editing Jetpack Compose. Now let's spend some time talking about the latest in Jetpack Compose APIs. Every developer I talk to says they never want to go back to XML once they've tried Compose because it's fun and that it increases app productivity when building app UI.
Quotes appear. Jetpack Compose is a critical part of our technical strategy. The productivity gains are massive. Airbnb. Compose makes it much easier to define our own components and to make their API contracts more explicit, flexible, and intuitive. Twitter.
In less than a year, after reaching stable, we're already seeing many of the top apps adopting Compose, from Twitter, Airbnb, to the Play Store app itself. We're building on this growth and just released the beta of Compose 1.2, which has features such as downloadable fonts, nested scrolling interrupt, and more. And since there's always more that we can do, we are committed to building even more features into Compose to make it easier for you to build great app experiences across devices. On that note, I hope you can see we have a lot of new features for making it faster and easier to develop apps. But if you can only remember 3 things to try out today for Android, first, update to the latest Jetpack libraries so that you can optimize your app to work better together across Wear OS and tablets. Second, download the latest preview of Android Studio to try out the latest set of tools like Live Edit, which accelerates your productivity. And lastly, try out the latest beta of Jetpack Compose to create beautiful app experiences. By using modern Android development, you're equipped to build high-quality apps across Android. With that, I'd like to invite Ben to talk to you about recent updates in web development.
A man takes the stage, and the screen reads introducing Ben Galbraith, he, him. The live recording icon appears, #Google I/O.
Thanks, Jamal. Across devices and operating systems, the web's there for you. It's an open, inclusive platform that makes sharing and collaboration easy, with over 4 billion people just a link away. Now, every 4 weeks, we ship new versions of Chrome based on the open source Chromium project designed to push the web forward. And we're working towards a vision of a truly instant web to help you bring more people into your experiences. And we're expanding what's possible on the web so that you can build, well, anything you can imagine, all while ensuring that users are kept safe online. So let's talk about some of the latest updates and how we're working to make web development easier for you. Now, users are quick to abandon slow websites, so even small performance improvements can make a big difference. To help, we've spent the past year fine-tuning every aspect of Chrome's performance, leading to massive gains on the popular speedometer benchmark. And because speedometer measures real-world web performance, these improvements translate into faster experiences for you and your users. But the browser is really just part of the story, because the way a website's built has at least as big an impact on speed. And getting that right can be a difficult task. Well, we've made it easy to begin your journey with Core Web Vitals, 3 critical metrics distilled from years of deep study on what makes websites great. And over the past year, we've seen massive momentum with Core Web Vitals. Nearly 50% more websites now meet our recommended thresholds, resulting in 65% of all page visits in Chrome now meeting this standard. And this has been a team effort, thanks to developers like all of you, web frameworks, CMS platforms, and Chrome, all collaborating to make the web better for everyone. And you can discover your site's Core Web Vitals and learn how to improve your scores on web.dev. And in the latest Chrome release, we just added a new experimental performance insights panel that provides rich contextual guidance right in your code on how to improve your vitals, making it a great companion to web.dev. Because everyone has a browser, the web is a compelling way to pull new users into your offerings. You just follow a link and you're there, no installation required. And every year, we push the web's capabilities deeper, integrating it further with operating systems and hardware, enabling more experiences to benefit from the web's instant and seamless model. One of my favorite examples here is Lego's online learning experience. It combines colorful building elements, easy-to-use hardware, and intuitive coding. I have a big family, so every time I sit down to work on projects with my kids, the last thing I want to do is spend time on system administration. And thanks to Lego's web app, which uses the web's Bluetooth and USB APIs, we can just connect their hardware and get going straight away. It is really cool. And as the web gets more powerful, companies like Adobe are using WebAssembly to easily bring their existing code to the web, where they can re-envision their experiences on the platform. Soon, WebAssembly is gaining support for managed programming languages like Java, Kotlin, and Dart. And this work isn't yet final, but we're already experimenting in Chrome with new possibilities For example, take a look at what Google Sheets is doing. They're experimenting with executing some of their Java code right in the browser, enabling faster performance on even the largest spreadsheets. You can expect more updates on this expanded support soon, and we're excited to see how other language communities take advantage of this. As you rethink what's possible for your web apps, web.dev has all the latest resources to help. Now, earlier, you heard about Google's commitment to privacy. We're working closely with the Android team on the Privacy Sandbox, an ambitious effort to rethink online privacy and enable personalized experiences that don't rely on tracking users across apps or sites. And we're currently testing trial versions of the Privacy Sandbox APIs in Chrome. One of these is federated credential management, a new way for browsers to support logins with any identity provider without relying on third-party cookies or libraries, making it easier for users to sign in or sign up on your site. We'll share further updates on FedCM and the rest of the Privacy Sandbox after learning from our tests later this year. So while we push the web forward into a bunch of new areas, we're also working to ensure that web APIs perform consistently across browsers, which is a perennial priority of web developers everywhere. This year, for the first time, all of the major browsers have come together on an effort called Interop 2022 to cooperatively improve compatibility in 15 key areas of the web, informed by your feedback. You can track our progress throughout the year using an automated dashboard, and all of this compatibility work makes it easier to use the latest web features like CSS Grid with confidence across browsers, so you can focus your energies on creating modern sites that seamlessly adapt to any device. So the world continues to depend on the web for so much of our daily digital lives. Thank you for your partnership as we all work together to make this great open ecosystem healthy and thriving long into the future. And now I'd like to invite Tim to share the latest updates on Flutter.
An animated globe appears on screen with greetings in different languages. Introducing Tim Sneath, he, him. Hashtag Google I/O.
Thank you so much, Ben. So let's talk about Flutter, which is our framework for building beautiful multi-platform experiences from a single code base. We built Flutter to revolutionize UI development. We're combining the web's iterative development model with a hardware-accelerated graphics engine and pixel-level control that were previously only the preserve of games. And over the last 4 years since our first beta, we've been gradually building on those foundations. We've added new framework capabilities and new widgets, deeper integration with the underlying platforms, a rich library of packages, and many performance and tooling improvements. And as the product has matured, more of you have started to build apps with it. And today, there are over 500,000 apps built with Flutter. And as we talk to you, many of you have told us that Flutter is helping you build beautiful apps more quickly for more platforms. So today, we're introducing Flutter 3.
3 cartoon birds stand on each other's heads to stack blocks, forming the number 3.
And Flutter 3 is the culmination of our journey to fill out the platform supported by Flutter. With Flutter 3, you can build high-quality, beautiful experiences for all 6 platforms from a single code base, giving you unparalleled productivity and enabling startups to bring new ideas to the full addressable market from day one. You know, thank you. You know, adding new platforms requires more than just rendering pixels. It includes new inputs and interaction models. It includes compilation and build support, accessibility, internationalization, platform-specific integration. And we want to give you the flexibility also to take full advantage of that underlying operating system whenever you build a Flutter app, while sharing as much UI and logic as you choose. On Linux, Canonical has been contributing to offer a highly integrated option for development. And they're already using it themselves with a suite of Linux packages that provide APIs for core operating system services. On macOS, we've invested in supporting both Intel and Apple Silicon with support for universal binaries. So now you can build high-quality, compiled experiences for any Mac and submit your desktop apps to the Apple Store. So one example of how Flutter 3 enables beautiful desktop experiences is Superlist. And this is a new collaboration app that we've kind of fallen in love with. They started with macOS as their target platform, but since they're using Flutter, they also get Windows, Android, and iOS apps all from the same code. Well, we've got lots more in Flutter 3. We've got new performance tooling, we've got Material 3, foldable device support, and some new language features in Dart that we think you'll enjoy. Today, we are also announcing the Flutter Casual Game Toolkit. And that's a starter kit of resources, including a sample game, learning materials, community spaces, and information about credits for Google Developer Services. All this so you can go from a great idea quickly into a published game. Of course, there's more to building an app than a UI framework. And so Firebase helps you build, release, and operate your apps. And 62% of Flutter developers are already using Firebase in their apps. Today, thank you. Today, we're announcing the graduation of Flutter Firebase integration into a fully supported core part of the Firebase offering. So we're moving the source code and the documentation into the main Firebase repo and site. And you can count on us continue to evolve Firebase support for Flutter in lockstep with Android and iOS. In particular, today, we're releasing Flutter support for Crashlytics. So now you can track fatal and informational errors with the same set of features that are available for iOS and Android. And that enables you to quickly resolve critical issues before they impact a large number of your users. And you can take advantage of these updates simply by adding the latest version of the Crashlytics for Flutter plugin to your app. Actually, the Firebase team has been busy. So I'd like to welcome Francis Ma to the stage to tell you about some of the other work that they've been up to. Welcome, Francis.
Colorful dots flash on screen, followed by swooping lines. Introducing Francis Ma, he, him.
Thanks, Tim. Firebase is Google's app development platform that brings together tools, technology, and backend services in one place. Now, since our launch a few years ago, we've continued to invest in making app development faster and easier so you can focus on building and growing apps people love. And this year, I'm excited to share how we're strengthening Firebase's integration with Google's most popular developer products and making our platform work better together with the open ecosystem of tools. Now, you've just heard from Tim about Crashlytics support for Flutter. But that's not the only way we're helping you more easily identify potential issues in your apps. Crashlytics tracks crashes and the events that led up to them. But to reproduce, debug, and resolve issues, you need to jump into your IDE, like Android Studio. And that's why we're launching the new App Quality Insights window in Android Studio. The App Quality Insights window helps you discover, investigate, and reproduce issues reported by Crashlytics within the context of your Android Studio project, so you no longer have to switch between tools. Now, imagine I've just released a new version of my app to production and want to see how it's performing. I just open the project and navigate to the App Quality Insights window, where I can see the latest crash data for my app based on some filters I've set because I've linked my Firebase account to Android Studio. And right away, I see that there are several issues affecting a number of users. I can select a crash to see the stack trace. And because Android Studio can easily compare this crash data with my app code, I can navigate directly to the exact lines of code that may be causing the crash. And if I want to reproduce and debug the issue locally, I just set my breakpoint in the code and deploy to a device similar to what's been reported. And even better, I don't need to check this window constantly. As I'm building features and working in the code editor, the IDE helps me identify potential issues by highlighting the lines of code that have appeared in crash reports so I can investigate and fix issues along the way. This is the first important step in helping you speed up your app development by bringing the Firebase experience directly to Android Studio. Now, our friends at Adobe got a sneak peek and said the integration directly solves the headache of navigating from crash to code. So go try out this new feature today by downloading the latest Canary version of Android Studio Electric Eel. Another way Firebase helps you accelerate development is by making it easier to use with multiple third-party tools. Now, most apps use between 20 to 40 different APIs, but researching, writing, and debugging code to integrate them can be incredibly time-consuming. And that's why we launched Firebase Extensions, pre-packaged solutions that let you quickly add functionalities to your apps from Google or other companies you know and trust. Now, while extensions are easy to use, you just deploy and the code is pulled into your code base, the trade-off is that they might not always fit your specific needs. But now, you can get the best of both worlds with the launch of Extensions Events. Extensions Events allows you to customize an extension with your own custom code. In this way, the extension becomes the baseline for your integration, but you can still augment it to make it your own. So for example, if you're using the Payments with Stripe extension for subscription billing, you can now write your own custom code to trigger a discount offer upon subscription cancellation. So to get started today, visit the extensions page on the Firebase website, and while you're there, check out new extensions from Snap, Stream, RevenueCat, TypeSense, and more. Now, regardless of what tools and platforms you use, you shouldn't have to worry about security risks to your backend, like phishing, app impersonation, or data theft. I'm pleased to announce Firebase's solution, AppCheck, is now generally available. With AppCheck, you can help safeguard your data, protect your users, and control who has access to your resources and infrastructure. Now, AppCheck does this by attesting that incoming traffic is coming from your app on a legitimate device and is certified under major compliance and security standards. You can use these AppCheck protections with Firebase, cloud, and even API endpoints on your own custom servers. And we've integrated with the new Play Integrity API to give you the most advanced protection for Android apps. So go enable Firebase AppCheck to start securing your API resources today. Our goal for Firebase is to give you a seamless and secure development experience that lets you focus on making your app the best it can be for your users and your business. Now, we know that part of building a great app is having a scalable, world-class infrastructure in place. So to talk more about what Google Cloud is doing to help developers, I'd like to welcome Karolina.
The screen turns yellow as dots trace concentric squares. Introducing Karolina Netolicka, she, her. The live recording icon appears. #Google I/O.
Thanks, Francis. We love partnering with Firebase to help developers build more powerful apps, whether it's by adding backend APIs, accessing SQL databases, or executing scripts. That's because Google Cloud is a cloud built by developers for developers. We focus on creating intuitive experiences to help you to easily build apps and services that your users love. One example of what excites developers about Google Cloud is Cloud Run, our serverless platform, which allows you to build and run applications without having to manage infrastructures.
It supports your favorite languages and frameworks like Kotlin, Node.js, Dart, and Python. It's fully managed and automatically scales up and down. In just a few clicks, you can simply connect Cloud Run to your Git repo to automatically deploy your code changes. This usually takes hours to configure. An independent study found that users were able to build and deploy an app on their first try in less than 5 minutes. We're excited for you to give this a try. However, why limit your use of Cloud Run to request or event-driven services? You probably spend a lot of time running administrative tasks like database migration, managing scheduled jobs like nightly reports, or doing batch data transformation. This is why today we're announcing Cloud Run Jobs. With Cloud Run Jobs, you can execute code to completion on the same highly scalable Cloud Run platform, only paying when your jobs are executing without having to worry about managing infrastructure. As an example, I want my app's users to receive personalized push notifications every week with a recap of their week's activity. Here, a Cloud Run job is generating notification content for each user and using Firebase Admin SDK to send them out. Each of the job's 10 tasks handles 1/10 of the users. We can follow the progress of every task and see at a glance if any have failed. We can see our job's logs right here. Our job was successful, and the notifications have been sent out. Just like Cloud Run allows you to deploy idiomatic and standard code, you may want to use a relational database based on an open standard. PostgreSQL is a great fit because it's one of the most popular database engines. What if we combine PostgreSQL with Google native storage, fully managed database operations, and built-in ML? Today, we're thrilled to announce AlloyDB for PostgreSQL. A new, powerful relational database from Google Cloud that's fully PostgreSQL compatible. AlloyDB has high availability, and our own performance tests show that it's more than 4 times faster than standard PostgreSQL for transactional workloads. With ML-powered automated systems, I don't have to provision storage, manage memory, or worry about performance tuning. From my code, I can run SQL queries using the standard PostgreSQL library from my programming language. These are just a few new ways Google Cloud is helping you build more powerful apps. Cloud Run Jobs and AlloyDB are available today, and you can check them out here.
cloud.google.com/run, cloud.google.com/AlloyDB.
Next, let's bring Alex on stage to talk about the ecosystem of tools to help you build trustworthy ML models.
Colorful circles flash on screen and then separate. Introducing Alex Spinelli, he, him. #Google I/O.
Thanks, Karolina. It's great to see how machine learning is making developer tools more powerful, and I love the example of AlloyDB. We believe 2022 is the year ML becomes part of every developer's toolkit. That's why we've made it our goal to help you succeed with ML, regardless of your level of experience or the size of your organization. We use these tools ourselves to drive our own businesses, such as search, ads, YouTube, and lots of other Google products. Google's machine learning ecosystem covers everything you need, from the data that gets the ball rolling to training, deployment, operations, all while providing the tools to keep responsible AI top of mind. Our goal is to help you build better apps with machine learning. And it all begins with data. In fact, most of the code you'll be writing will likely be from managing data. To give you the tools that help you get the most from your data, we've made training efficient and easier, and we help you spot potential bias issues. So, when you want to get coding, APIs like TF Data reduce your workload, and tools like Know Your Data allow you to mitigate fairness and bias issues. And training your models doesn't have to be complex. We get it. We're developers too. So we've built cutting-edge research into easy-to-use APIs to make it simple to define neural networks using code. For example, AI research delivered BERT, a model which can do some amazing things, like understand sentiment within text. We've built BERT into TensorFlow Lite Model Maker to encapsulate these capabilities and make it easy for you to use them on mobile. And using this, Matthias Vogt, a student developer from Germany, created an open source reference implementation for ML on mobile that can detect predators in chat rooms. All the complexity for language semantics gets reduced from this to this. It's state-of-the-art sentiment recognition in just a few lines of code. So cool. And we've made sure that anywhere you can execute code, you can execute ML. Whether it's in the cloud, browsers, Android, iOS, even embedded systems and microcontrollers. All from the same code and with open source tools and frameworks. And once your models are in the wild, it's critical to keep them updated. Open source tools like TensorFlow Extended, also known as TFX, let you implement full pipelines quickly and easily. And of course, if you want a managed solution for this, Vertex AI can cover you end to end. I'm always excited when I hear about ML being used to solve developer problems. For example, we hear from web developers that they'd like to make their pages adaptive to users' bandwidth. Wouldn't it be nice if you can predict conditions before sending content to your users, giving them the best possible experience? LinkedIn trained a model using TensorFlow in JavaScript to predict download times, optimizing images before sending them. It led to billions more content interactions, creating a more engaging product and increasing revenue. We've worked with LinkedIn to open source this work, which includes a Colab notebook for you to test the models before deploying them to your website. Hey, it's I/O. We know how much you want to roll up your sleeves and try this stuff out for yourself. So if you want to build an app for text sentiment like Matthias, or a whole bunch of other apps in ML, check out the learning paths that take you from data to development. Today, we've seen some amazing solutions to complex problems. And we know how vibrant an open source ecosystem helps us do better with ML. In that spirit, check out this project, using ML to help protect the environment.
Waves lap against a sandy beach. A location icon appears. Heron Island, Queensland, Australia.
I had seen coral reefs before, but only on black and white TV. When I was 5 or 6, saved up enough to get my first mask and snorkel and a set of fins.
Two boys wear swim trunks, flippers, snorkels, and masks. A photo slideshow captures various species of vibrantly colored coral.
Seeing it in color in such abundance was a revelation.
Professor Russ Babcock, he/him. Coral reef ecology expert, CSIRO.
The Great Barrier Reef is great because it's the longest continuous stretch of reef on the planet. There are a number of issues affecting it. The one I'm involved with is the control of crown-of-thorns starfish.
Fish swim above the coral reef. A clip shows Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants. Then large spiny starfish consume coral.
It's not like one of those cute little cuddly starfish. They're covered with poison spines and they eat large amounts of coral very quickly. Quite a nasty animal.
Megha Malpani, she/her. Google AI ML product manager.
We teamed up with CSIRO, Australia's national science agency, to solve this problem. We used insights from a competition we ran with the Kaggle community to train a machine learning model to identify crown-of-thorns starfish.
She meets with a team on a boat. Over footage of a coral reef, boxes with accuracy percentages locate crown-thorn starfish. A photo grid appears, labeled COTS detection. On a graphic labeled data-informed removal, lines radiate out in front of a boat, and location icons pinpoint target areas. The Google Maps logo appears.
We can then use that model to create a map with all the GPS locations of all the different starfish we detect.
Through this machine learning project, we're going to enable teams of divers to quickly suppress the outbreaks.
The boat floats at sea. and divers swim up to crown-thorn starfish.
We just had a human go out, and we also collected GoPro footage, and the human saw one crown-of-thorn starfish, and the object detection model picked up 20.
On deck, Mega and her team monitor dive footage.
This project really makes me feel hopeful for the future of the barrier reef.
An aerial view takes in the vast expanse of ocean. Welcome back, Jeanine Banks, she, her.
Yeah!
The live recording icon appears. #Google I/O.
Wow, I love that story. It shows how we're entering a world where AI can assist everyone with their day-to-day tasks. For instance, AI-assisted coding has the potential to help developers become radically more productive. It's still early days, and like most things, it's going to take iteration to get it right. But we think the promise is huge. And as Sundar shared, we're pioneering research in this area in collaboration with teams across Google and Alphabet. One example is AlphaCode, an exciting AI system from DeepMind. Recently, AlphaCode participated in 10 coding contests with impressive results. It's just the beginning, and we believe collaboration with the open ecosystem will be key. The future of AI-assisted coding requires understanding the relationship between code and text. We all love well-documented code, right? That's why we're thrilled to announce and invite you to join the new AI for Code Challenge. It's launching today on Kaggle in partnership with X, the Moonshot Factory, so that you all can try your hand at training models to understand and match documentation inside Python notebooks with the related code blocks. We think this challenge will produce some useful insights and help you explore how natural language is used to generate code from text. Just imagine the future where people from all backgrounds, all skill sets, will be able to use their words to build experiences that make the world better. So many of you are already using your skills to tackle problems facing your communities today. Like Kose Bilali, who leads the Google Developer Group in Juba, South Sudan. Kose grew up in a remote village with little access to technology. But he used the opportunity to harness technology to solve issues plaguing his community. Kose is working on a new job board to connect people in his community with tech jobs. And like Patricia Serkaite, she leads the Google Developer Student Club at Eindhoven University in the Netherlands. With support from Ukrainian Google developer expert Artem Nikulchenko, she organized a hackathon to help the people of Ukraine. And the winning project addressed insulin shortages. By surfacing government data of insulin supplies, they were able to help refugees find insulin near them. These are just a couple of stories that show why I/O is such a wonderful time for us all to get together, learn something new, and inspire each other. So check out the 140 sessions and 100 code labs covering over 45 different tools. Dig in to the latest features for your favorite product, or try something new. We've also brought back the I/O Adventure. Now, I don't know about you, but I totally enjoyed chatting with so many of you last year. So explore the demos, the quests, virtual swag, and there's some new surprises. And of course, the learning doesn't stop after I/O. There are over 2,000 community groups, and in 140 different countries, many of which they're hosting their very own I/O extended events. If you're not already a member, it's perfect time for you to get in and go find the right one for you.
g.co/io/community.
Now, I'm sure you are ready to dive right in. So thanks again for joining us, and please enjoy your time at I/O.
The crowd applauds as Jeanine strolls off stage past the screen displaying the I.O. logo. Colorful lines sweep past. Text appears. A huge thank you to everyone who worked across dozens of time zones on countless meet calls over the last 6+ months to make I.O. 2022 possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Numerous precautions were taken for the health and safety of audience, crew, and presenters, including daily health screenings, daily temperature checks, COVID testing, cast and crew PPE, and sanitation measures. Ciao. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you're staying safe wherever you are. #Google I.O.